Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Do Things Different, shall we? This is your host, Luis. I am the executive director of Tech Forward, nonprofit out of Palmyra, Missouri. So today, oh, by the way, today is brought to you by the letter C, C for coffee. And speaking of coffee, today's coffee cup is brought to you by the University of Louisville. My youngest daughter, Jordan, attended Louisville, and yeah, funny story about her. And I'll have to tell you about that some other time. Her and football and Louisville, Lamar Jackson, that whole thing. Oh, well, it's a story for another day. But anyway, so today's cup is University of Louisville, provided to me by my youngest daughter, Jordan, when she attended Louisville many a year ago. I think going on 8, 9 years ago, I think. So anyway, so what are we going to talk about? We had a I had a what was it? I attended a networking event earlier today, this morning. It was online. It's the ACA Business Development meeting. Which, by the way, if you're not a member of the ACA, you should. The ACA Club in Quincy is a great group of people. I believe there are 17 members. We meet. Well, there's a coffee club every Friday morning, 9 a.m. at Quincy Works over on 36. Well, I forget the name of the street, but you should come by sometime. It's free. It's free to everyone. We have a speaker. Someone comes to present for about 15 minutes. We have a nonprofit that we help. They talk for a few minutes, but it's really about meeting everybody and introducing everybody to everybody. And it really is. It really has been good to me as an individual, but also for Tech Forward. There's a little bit of a bragging. Is it bragging? No. Anyway, so but speaking of networking, we're talking about networking. I am. I have a question. So I call myself a developer, except that for me, is a database developer. I'm not a Python developer, JavaScript, any of those stuff. I'm going to be. I'm not there yet. But there's a stigma surrounding developers where we are supposed to be shy and quiet, and when we talk, we only talk nerdy stuff, geeky stuff, and we are supposed to be socially awkward. Again, stereotypes. But that it so one of the things that we are trying to do at Tech Forward is expand the public's knowledge of technology, right? And that starts with us nerds getting together, talking. But here's what's interesting: not talking just about technology, talking about networking, talking about getting to know each other, talking about, hey, what are you doing? Talking about who do you know, right? And it I have attended a couple of events here locally that are just nerds, all developers, and for an hour long, that's really all we talk about. So I want to challenge all of us developers to get together, but let's have a conversation about our businesses. Let's have a conversation about ourselves. Let's see if we can get together and not talk shop, which is I get it. It's exciting. Let me tell you, you get me going talking about data, and we can talk for hours. But I want to connect to developers as people, as persons, not as developers. Uh, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to see if we can get a social event aimed at technology and technology adjacent individuals, and see what comes of it. I am very curious, and I really want to. By the way, I really do believe that we have a lot to offer, not just to each other, but for our community at large. But I am curious. I am very curious. And we have a first guest today. His name is Miguel Garcia. He is the owner of Garcia Creative Works out of Columbia, Missouri. But there is an example of a young man who, yes, still a nerd, but he's involved in his community. He's involved in the Hispanic community in particular, and wants to do what he can to help him. Right. So obviously we exist, and by we I mean nerds who want to help their community. Yes, I get it. More than likely through technology, I get that. But let's get out of our own way, and let's go out and meet people and talk to people, and let's not talk shop. Can we do that? I am going to set this up. I'm going to set this one developers nerds social event, and I'm going to invite a whole slew of people, and let's see what happens with an agenda. We can have an agenda, and none of it will involve talking about constants or queries or how fast did I write that or none of that. It would be about us. It would be about our businesses. It'd be about our individual achievements. There you go. It'd be about our community, our community. I will report once I get it, put it together, and have it. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, AI continues to dominate. Okay, we'll be touching that bit with Miguel in when he comes in. But AI continues to dominate everything that's going out there. I can't tell you the number of articles. I'm sure you know them. It just every day there are dozens, if not hundreds, of articles about how AI is impacting that business and this and that one, and jobs that are being that the people believe will be no longer needed because of AI. We have not been able to have that conversation with anyone, and Miguel will be the first one that we do. But we are looking forward to talking about it because we want to know if how has AI influenced or messed with your business, what, good or bad, good or bad. I would really want to talk about this, and it's. I continue to learn. I continue to learn Chat GPT and see how it can help what I do from a content point of view. That's really the only thing I'm looking at right now. But I'm curious. Let's talk about that sometime. All right. A couple of announcements, and I've mentioned this before, but I want to make sure that you're aware of it. November 1st, Saturday, November 1st, 7 p.m. Tech Forward, along with Bo and Company, is putting together a black and green gala to benefit veterans. It's going to be a great event. Information will be forthcoming. Tickets will be $75 a person, including veterans. But we are hoping to find sponsors for these veterans. Our goal is to have every single veteran's ticket covered so that they don't have to pay to attend. It's going to be a great evening. We have music by Stonehill from Hannibal, Palmyra Hannibal, I suppose. They are a great band. Chloe, Mark, and Jeff are incredible people. I am looking for catering. I'm looking for desserts, although I'm trying to convince this young lady that does cheesecakes. That together, her and I can do desserts. We'll see how that goes. But it's going to be a great event. It is a formal event. A funny thing. Here's what's funny about this. I kind of knew it that would happen, but so when I mentioned that this is a formal event, black and green gala, right? Suits, tuxes, whatever, must be black, green, a combination thereof. And then I say the event is in Palmyra. It's like, wait, are you serious? Because to farm folk or to Palmyra folks, and I think this is wrong to say, but I have heard it from people who don't live in Palmyra, but that they're going to show up in jeans and a nice shirt. Hey, no, they're not. We are civilized in this town. We are incredible people in this town. We respect what needs to be respected. But I still find it funny that the first thing that people think of when they think of Missouri and Palmyra is, they'll show up in jeans and a nice shirt. No. Stop being so prejudiced. Not racist. Is that racist? No, it's not racist. Anyway, it wasn't funny anymore, was it? All right. Besides the Black and Green Gala, in June, we hope to host the first ever Palmyra Pickleball Cup. We're going to have 6 divisions. six groups. Each one has its own, or will have its own set of companies. So, for example, or individuals. So, for example, we're going to have a bank group. Hope to have four teams from four different banks compete against each other. Cops, fire departments, right? And we hope to have a nerd group. Wouldn't that be cool? Um, and it's a round robin for the first set, but then it's a sudden death for the term. Every winner of the six groups then goes up and participates in the next level. Um, no, there'll be some money involved. I don't know how much yet, but $50 a team. And you'll see announcements coming out of Tech Forward, hopefully in the next week or so about that, so we can begin to look for the sponsors and everything else, and teams, obviously. Okay, so that's that. And then lastly, today we announced. We sent an email out to Manpower, Interconnect, Bella East, and we're gonna forward it to other organizations where we have announced that we will be starting to teach basic computer skills class, a Microsoft Office class, and a Google product class. Classes free of charge to the general public. It is an effort to help you understand some of the basic products that you use or you need to use for your job. And of course, this is beginner, right? This is introduction too. But if they are well received, then we hope to have an intermediate and then eventually an advanced. But for now, that's what we're going to stick with. I am also developing the curriculum for the introduction to database development. I'll be teaching that one. Actually, I think I'm teaching a lot of the others too. But to that end, we are looking for volunteers. If you know if you know Office products, and then specifically, by the way, for Microsoft, we're going to be looking at Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. For Google, we're looking at Sheets, Docs, Google Mail, and I think it's called Slides. Those are the four. So if you are proficient in any of those, and we would love to have you help us to teach one class, 2 hours long, and it would be, like I said, late March. We'd love to have you help us with this. This classes will be offered to anyone in the 8-9 county area. We're going to pass this information once we have the specific dates, times, and location, which again I hope to have settled by the end next week. We're going to push it to all the different chambers across the area, to those organizations that help adults, and we hope to be able to do this for the community. It's been a long time coming. All right, that's all I got. Next will be our first guest, the first guest to our podcast, Miguel Garcia, out of Columbia, Missouri. I hope you enjoy that. Hello, everyone. Again, I want to welcome our first guest to the Let's Do Things Different podcast. This is Miguel Garcia. He is the owner of Garcia Creative Works out of Columbia, Missouri. I was introduced to Miguel through a mutual friend of ours, acquaintance, I'm not sure of a friend, Eric Thomas of the ACA Club. So, Miguel, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
All right, listen, you and I have been talking for a couple of weeks now, off and on, about various things. So why don't you tell our audience, all six of them, what you're a young man. Why now? Why are you doing graphics design to start with?
Well, so in high school, it was like my favorite class in high school, graphic design. That's the only thing I really wanted to do. I couldn't really think of anything else I wanted to do after high school. So graphic design was the main focus after that. I went to Columbia College. I got my graphic design degree. I got out of college. And then I was like, ooh, I don't know if I want to work for anybody right now. I decided to stick with my, side job for a little bit, just save up as much as I could. Right. And then when 2025 came around, I was like, oh, this could be the perfect time to finally, kick off my business. And that's when I learned about the Ready Hub. It happened.
Oh no, it's my dog.
Yeah,
Sammy
you're
likes
good.
to bark over. She likes to bark at everybody. So
uh, that's when I learned about there's a place in Colombia that helps out businesses. To I learned that from a friend actually, um, and she was telling me all about it, and I was like, oh, this sounds really interesting. This would be a great place to go. You know, I'm trying to, you know, start my business and help other people. So that's what I did, and then created my logo, got my website, and yeah, just the main focus is helping other small businesses thrive in
so
the area.
did you in high school did you high school or even college did you create logos for anyone? Did you how do you somebody had to tell you that your work was good, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
who was that person?
Well, I didn't really, because I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do um, during college, right? Really, the main thing I really wanted was focusing on was entertainment. I wanted to first enter into the entertainment industry, and I thought that's where I'd go, like making like I don't know. I thought like oh, make movie posters and or album covers or stuff like that.
Oh, okay, all right.
But then I felt like oh wow, that's then I realized like that's probably not really attainable right now. Um, so I, you know, figured out that there's a lot of Hispanic. I looked around. There's a lot of Hispanic business around. And that's my main focus is helping out like Latino businesses, small entrepreneurs. Um, and then somebody, that friend that I told you about, that told me about the Ready Hub. Her name Adilene. She's starting like a fashion brand, like apparel accessory brand. She asked me personally to make a logo. And this is like the first time I've ever been asked to do like a logo for anybody else.
Right.
And then that's really what gave me the confidence first was like her reaching out to me. Um,
Yeah, make sure you get her a bottle of tequila.
yeah,
Uh, okay, well that's good. So you talked a little bit about your desire to help the Hispanic community in Colombia. I mean, obviously you're Hispanic. I am Hispanic, so there's always that side of it. But was there is there anything in particular that that's going on or not happening that led you to want to help the Hispanic business community?
um, well, I learned about I talked about this earlier, the Latino Chamber of Commerce that never came through. And that just kind of sparked something in me like, oh, why didn't it get through? What happened? That's really what I'm trying to figure out. But I also learned, well, I didn't learn this, but I've known for a while that a lot of these Latino companies, they don't have like an online presence or, social media website. Like I know about them and like a lot of the other Hispanic community knows about them, but everybody else doesn't really know about them. And I
But
feel,
don't you think I was at a meeting last week and we got talking about this a little bit about you actually a little bit, and I made a comment, and I think this is true. I think Hispanic businesses, we yeah, we know social media exists, we know that websites are out there, but for us, it's about word of mouth.
yeah, that's
You
something I've
know,
realized too. And
yeah,
that's like,
I almost feel that Hispanic businesses sort of rely on that because the typical Hispanic stereotype is, you tell one person they're gonna tell 10 others, and then those 10 are gonna tell 100 more. So between 200 people, if 10 of them show up at your restaurant, for example, okay, great.
mm,
I don't need a social media. I don't need a website. I just tell my friends or make sure that or in our case make sure the food is good, make sure the website is nice, whatever, and they tell somebody. So how do you have you figured out yet how you're going to convince them that social media, that a website can help, not replace, but can help what how they go about advertising their business?
yeah, I actually had this talk yesterday with somebody who reached out to me to make a logo and the business card as well. And I was trying to like kind of like push them towards like, oh, maybe you should make a website as well. And I can help you with that as well. But they're very adamant about not needing a website and just focusing on business cards because that's where they really get all their business stuff. It's a lawn mowing company, like landscaping type of thing.
Right.
Um, so I was like, okay, that makes sense. They just basically hand the business card. That's all they do. That's fine. That's cool with me. But I don't know if you can. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. but I also kind of think it's like a generational difference as well. Because I,
No doubt.
no doubt, yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
exactly. Because I've been
No doubt.
talking, with a younger person who's doing like a fashion show here in Columbia, in Mizzou, actually, the Mizzou area. I'm helping him like make a promotional material, like graphics and stuff like that. And he's like all about social media and stuff like that. He like that's where he does everything, and he's also Latino. Um, so I think it's
Yeah,
really just a generational thing.
that's funny you say that because I find myself it. It's funny. I am in the technology world, right? Tech
Mm-hmm.
forward is what we do. We teach technology, we do websites, etc. So by definition, you online world is where we live, right? Except that me personally, even though I am the executive director, even though I am the one who who has to push our agenda, I social media and I just don't get along. It's for me it's an afterthought, right? I rather personally go to an event, meet people, hand out business cards, talk to them about it, right? Than rely on social media or a website. But the business side of me knows that in today's world, online presence is almost necessary,
Yeah,
right? So yeah, it's definitely. I have a daughter, a younger daughter. She's 33. Uh, no, she just turned 34, and she lives online,
mm-hmm.
right? But my my wife, other people our age, social media is how we keep track of our kids.
Yeah,
It's not how we advertise our business. That's just not what we do. But but Hispanic businesses, a lot of Hispanic businesses do have that that patriarch, that older person that runs them, and therefore online is not. I don't need it, like you said, right?
mm-hmm.
But how do you? Did you have a strategy on how to begin the conversation with them?
uh, yeah. I try my best to explain to them like, oh yeah, websites. Everybody has a website. You can put more info on a website than you can on a business card.
Yes, yes,
That's
and
the main thing.
that's been my selling pitch.
The QR code too. You can put a QR code on the business card and scan it. That's, you
You
know,
know, but okay, all right, yeah, it's an interesting demographic. It's an interesting group of people that you're dealing with, Hispanics. Um, but is there I have not been. I mean, I have been to Colombia a few times, but always I've been on the outskirts of Colombia, not in Colombia itself. Is there a lot of Hispanic businesses in Colombia?
yeah, I would say so. There's a lot of, mainly restaurants.
Oh, sure,
Um,
sure.
that's the main one. There's markets. There's a few markets. There's uh, yeah, just a bunch of different types. Like also like a lot of like landscaping ones are like kind of like side hustles as well. So I kind of understand it's a little different for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, what you want to do is uh, basically help them get a leg up. You want to help them get a more business. They want to help them make a few more bucks, but you also want to help as a whole the Hispanic community because a healthy Hispanic business means a healthy Hispanic family, friends, relatives, etc. So it's not just the business you're helping; it's the entire community.
yes,
That's a pretty lofty goal for a young man like yourself.
I am.
How,
Yeah,
and I gotta ask. I know you had told me that you had the conversation with your folks. What did you, if you don't mind me asking, how did your folks react to your not just wanting to start your own company right out of college, but this whole idea of helping the Hispanic community?
um, they're pretty supportive. They're actually very supportive. Um, in terms of like reaction, they're pretty like what's the word? Like they'll be like, oh yeah, just keep doing it. Just like us, I mean, ponte las pilas, just go keep going at it.
Right.
Uh, Not much else besides that. My parents are pretty traditional,
Yeah.
so they just do their own thing. I do my thing, and they're supportive of that.
Yeah, you gotta love parents.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
I always told my kids, whatever you want to do, I'll be supportive. All I need from you is look at me in the eye and tell me this is what you want to do,
Yeah.
right? And be ready to live with the consequences, good or
Hmm.
bad. You go forward, you do that, I'm behind you 100%.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right, all right. So one of the things that happened with Tech Forward when we first got started, the main idea was to teach entry level software development. Okay, that was the original idea, but it took us. It's taken us about a year to get really everything, to gain knowledge, to get everything set up so that we could begin to teach, and then AI takes over, right? And AI is everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Now, I have been steadfast in the belief that we're getting carried away with AI. But the reality over is that right now, an entry level software position can in fact be replaced by AI. AI bots can write code, right? Basic code. You still need a human to kind of look at it, fix it, update it, whatever.
Hmm.
Have you run into this at all? Have you put any thought into this? Have you looked into it? I can reach out to companies right now that would generate a graphic, a logo, but it's AI building that logo,
Hmm.
right? So have you put any thought into this?
Yeah, of course I have. Uh, I actually recently attended a workshop that was focused on AI and how it can help transform businesses. And I went into that meeting or that workshop thinking, oh, I use a lot of AI. I wonder how much these guys use AI. They use so much more AI than I use. They have AIs I've never even heard of. Uh, they all like use a paid version of AI. I've never used any paid version of AI. I just have the regular ChatGPT. Um, but I only really ever use it to like help my like social media bios or posts. Like if I
Right.
don't really know how to word something, I just like use it to like help me make it more fluid. But these, I feel like a lot of these people were using it for basically most of their job, and it kind of did shock me. I didn't realize how
Well, within the world of graphics design, right?
it's a little because it's a little different because it's like it's a creative business.
Right, and you,
So
but can you not? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't use it. I'm learning. Okay, Chat GPT. I'm beginning to learn that,
mhm.
but it branding, because you also do brand work. I think branding is such a personal thing, right? You need to talk to the owner of the business. You need to understand what they're doing or why they, what they're going to do, why they want to do it. You got to get some feedback that I think you can only get in a one-to-one conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, so that one I understand, but graphics design. Listen, I have another daughter, a daughter that lives in Denver, Colorado, and she texted me one day a few weeks ago that she was mad as heck because they had to open a gallery, an art gallery that was only displaying AI created art, and she was like, "What in the world?" Right?
yeah,
But you, I have not done it, but I can assume that is there any danger in in the graphics design world that people are just going to begin to rely on AI to generate their you know their logos, their business cards, whatever,
mhm.
and accept it, even though it may not be the best thing for them because they just, hey, look, this is free. I don't need Miguel. I just, this is I can do it, even though it's not what they want. But hey, do you concern yourself with that at all?
Yeah. Uh, so AI usage, it's only going to get bigger, and there's really nothing I can do to stop it. So I do have to like, I know, I understand I have to kind of adapt, but I still have like my morals against it. But the way I hopefully see it going is, you know, I don't know, like coders, they're going to use AI how they use AI, and then
Yep.
creative people, they're going to use AI creatively. So, hopefully it'll be, they'll like find a way to uh, strike like a like mismatch the human creativity with the AI creativity.
Right. You're right. At the end of the day, we will not be able to escape it.
No,
It's coming, and you either adapt or get out of the way.
I do agree. It's coming a little too fast.
I think so. I really do, and it's being done in the name of uh, progress. But I personally think it's really, hey, look, I can make more money if I use AI, right? And you're
Mm,
losing, in my opinion, you're losing that personal touch, right?
yeah,
So businesses like Tech Forward, we had to sit down and think, holy Toledo, AI is here. It's already hurting the idea of teaching an entry level class because it can do it itself.
yeah.
So do we teach? And I think we decided we teach. Do we still teach entry level software development, but throw AI in the mix, right? Meaning, listen, you can use Copilot. Copilot will write blah blah blah, but you still have to know what it wrote, right?
Yeah,
So that
yeah,
so that you can go back and take a look at it. We need to change this. So you still need to know the language that it wrote it in because it's
right.
not going to write a complete 100% error-free code. It's not going to happen,
Yeah.
right? So is it the same do you think it's going to happen in the graphics world where graphics are going to get designed by an AI bot, but in your case, you, the graphic designer, has to take that image and give it a personal touch?
Um, I mean, I hope it doesn't get to that level. Um, like right now, like the way ChatGPT is, like you can put prompts and it'll pop out like a logo, but they're not very good.
Right.
Like as far as I know, they're not. I haven't seen one that's good. They have like misspellings. They're all choppy and whatever. They're
All right.
just
All right.
and
Okay.
the yeah.
All right. So, Miguel, I do a lot of, I try to do a lot of networking events.
Uh huh.
Did you participate in events in Colombia?
Uh, I go to like 1 million cups. I think most weeks. I don't know if you know what that is. That's like a
Yeah,
Columbia.
they have it here.
Oh yeah,
Well,
sure, yeah, of
in
course.
Quincy. Yeah, they have it in Quincy. I went there for the first time last Wednesday, as a matter of fact.
I've been a guest at ACA before, Million Cups. I've been to different workshops like LinkedIn.
Do you,
Uh,
how do you feel about networking events?
how do I feel about them?
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
for your business, because networking events are, in theory, a way for you to get your name out, for you to meet other people. Uh, but to me, what networking events are is not about who Miguel knows. I mean, it's not about Miguel. It's about who does Miguel know, right? That's how I met you, right? It wasn't
mm,
because I knew Eric. It's that Eric knew you,
mm,
right? So it's and because Eric, in this case, Eric knew you. Now you and I have this connection, right?
yeah,
And I found a lot of networking events where that's what I'm after. I'm not after so much about getting to know the person I'm talking to. I'm more interested in who they know,
who they know. Yeah,
right?
it's like a chain reaction. You
If
know.
Yeah, so um, I do recommend the ACA club. By the way, I am a member of the ACA club here in Quincy.
Mm.
But besides that, a yeah, are there Hispanic specific networking events?
Not that I'm aware of, and that's something we're trying to get started.
That Yeah, I was just gonna say that's something that for those of you who don't know, Miguel has this great idea of getting the Hispanic businesses together under one umbrella. Think of it as a chamber of commerce for Hispanic businesses. And one of the best things that you can do towards that goal is to start it with a networking event. And it's nothing fancy. Just, hey, we're gonna get together for coffee, this coffee shop, 9 o'clock in the morning, whatever. I just begin the conversation. So if there isn't any, yeah, I strongly recommend that's where you start, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get you have to start the conversation because it, as I have learned, I can tell you that by yourself, it's a huge mountain to climb, right? But
Right.
when you have others that understand what you're trying to do and believe in what you're trying to do, you're gonna get that one, two, three, four, five people who are gonna go, hey, you know what? Let's do this together. You're right. So, all right, man. Listen, that's all we got for now. Again, this is Miguel Garcia. He's the owner of Garcia Creative Works out of Columbia, Missouri. He is also the first partner of Tech Forward. He can provide you logos, branding for any customer that Tech Forward has at a reduced cost. But no, don't go crazy. It's not like free or anything. But and he is the kind of person that we're looking for. We're looking for people who want to help others and don't mind do not mind getting their hands dirty in the process. So, Miguel, thank you so much for joining the podcast. And any last words of wisdom?
Ponte las pilas. Thank you.
Here we go. Thanks, dude. I appreciate it. We'll talk later.
Yep.
That was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you, Miguel, for joining us on the podcast. Um, it's very cool what he's trying to do in Colombia, and I wish him the absolute best on his endeavor, and we hope to help him in any way we can. All right, opinions. Let's talk about opinions. Let's talk about my opinion. So, uh, what is the purpose of city governments, chambers of commerce, in regards to small businesses? I don't know. I, I know a lot of cities, a lot of chambers of commerce. They say that they say that they're trying to do the best they can to help your small businesses. But I can tell you right now that that's not the case all the time. I realize that businesses, that governments have other things to do other than to help you. But I just don't think the government does enough. And I'm speaking of local governments, do enough to help small businesses. Uh, we need to be able to attract people and businesses to the area. Let's not get too caught up on how many people each business has. I know I've been saying this for I don't know how long, but if you want to help us fix the infrastructure, help us with leases, beautify the city where we live, where we work, and find businesses, help us bring businesses into town that make sense so that those of us who live in town don't have to go someplace else to spend our money. Now, it I am not a government official. I will never be a government official. I have no desire to be one. Um, so I have to admit, I do not know all that goes into um, running a government. It's even a city government. I don't run chambers of commerce. I participate in two of them, uh, and I have to ask myself every once in a while. I have to ask myself the question: if what I'm paying to be a member of the chamber worth what I'm getting out of the chamber? which of course begs the question: what are my expectations from being a member of the chamber? But here's the thing: they are, and I'm just making these numbers up. Okay, so don't get too hung up on the numbers. If there is 1,000 businesses in a town and only 400 join the chamber, uh, in theory, only those 400 are being promoted by the chamber. So here's where my head is going.
Results. I can show them if you ask again from your iPhone.
Hey, be quiet. That was Siri getting a little crazy over there. But if only 400 participate and only 400 are being promoted, does that mean that you don't care about the other 600? Or are you basically saying that they're paying you, those 400, they are paying you to promote them? I don't know. I feel that it's if you want to help grow businesses, then it should be all businesses, not just the ones paying you. But yet, well, no. But yet, that's how it should be. We should be helping everybody who has a business locally, help them grow their business. Let's all get together and have this conversation, not just the ones with the money, all of us. Because I got to tell you, for every big business you have, there's 100 little ones that if they leave, that big business is going to eventually leave. So help the little people, help all people, all businesses, not just the ones that pay you. Help everybody. If you're a government official, what are you doing? Are you asking questions of businesses? Every business, not just the ones that are paying you, not just the ones that are donating to listen, if I'm a business owner, I'm a small business owner, I'm working 20-hour days. I don't have time to go visit you at city council. If you're trying to grow a business, I need my time to grow the business. But if your cities and your chambers of commerce are telling you that they're here to help you, where are they? That's what I want to know. Where are they? But is that oh man, how do I say this? Is it just them that need to help us? I say no. I say it's everybody. They have the money, they have the power behind them. They can help more than I can. They can help more than any other nonprofit out there. They can help more than any other small business. But that 600 businesses that are not being promoted by the chamber, they all can help, just like the other 400. All of us together can help each other grow. And sometimes it's as simple as sharing a post on social media. I don't care, and I'm just using it. If EFB has something going on, Electric Phantom out of Quincy, and I'm the Caftown owners, then I'm going to promote EFB. I know you're going to say, oh, that they're my competitors, but hey, it's helping each other. I would expect that if Caftown is doing it, that EFB would do it, right? Not just because you know them, but because this is your town. This is your town. Help each other out, for the love of God. That's my opinion. All right, folks. That's it for us today. It's a long one. I won't lie. The first time I think we made it to 45 minutes. But I think it's been good. Thank you. Thanks again, Miguel, for being our first guest. There's lots going on in Tech Forward and around the area. We hope to be promoting as much as we can, both on the podcast and online. So keep an eye out for Tech Forward on Facebook. Join us, please. Follow us on Facebook. See below for our Facebook name and online as well. Until we meet again, this is your host, Luis.